All right, hey, coming to the show now, a lot of fun. A lot of you know my relationship with the UFC Gym. It's been a great one for the last 3 years. The guys at the Nev Group. I mean, I really enjoy that relationship. I get to host a lot of events. And as you all know, I went to Hawaii, and somebody that just impressed me, man. It was a great cat. We got to go out for dinner, hang out, share a lot of laughs while we were there. And he's got something pretty interesting. That UFC gym just keeps growing, and now it's growing its way into Sydney, Australia, of all places. Lusiano Afeaki, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's hot out here, but I am good and just got hammered by my trainer, but I'm good.
What now for the rest of the interview, we're gonna go by Luce because that's his nickname, just like I'm Ski, and so we'll go that way with it. But what do you mean it's hot out there? What's the weather like?
Oh man, it's about 29 degrees Celsius. Here there's not one cloud in the sky. There's but a gentle breeze, if anything at all, and the birds are chirping.
What's it, when we were in Hawaii together, they are standing. Now, you got to remember, most of the stations are American, right? English, the Fahrenheit. So I don't know Celsius, but in Hawaii, they're pretty much consistently 84 degrees year-round. Is that similar with you guys or no?
Not year-round. Right now, we're around about the 80s, I would say, Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
But we do have, the seasons, more so the seasons. We're just enjoying a little bit more of a longer summer this year, which is great.
Born in Tonga.
Yes.
Went to school in New Zealand, but now live and within the fitness industry within Australia.
Correct. Yeah, that was after spending 10 years of living in Hong Kong.
Why were you in Hong Kong?
I went there to play this crazy game called Rugby Union.
Yep.
I went for a season to play, and I got stuck there for 10.
So, hey, let's talk a little rugby, because I told you, when you play, I don't know if you've played both, but you definitely been around both and watched both. Is there a big difference as a player, as a competitor, between the standard rugby and when the sevens?
The sevens, you're playing on the same size field, but you've only got 7 players, so there's a lot more ground to cover. And so the fitness level of a sevens player is so much higher. You can't have all that excess baggage on your body. And that's why you find the sevens guys are super fit. Probably not as big as the 15 side. Whereas the 15 side, you got to just, because the same size field, you've got to kind of what we say make gaps where there aren't any gaps. Yeah, so it's when you talk about NFL, you got guys running through other guys, and that's what happens more in 15s, whereas 7s, there's a lot more gaps, and so guys are fitter and they have to run around, and there's more opportunity. And I think 7s is a lot more exciting. I guess that's why it's in the next Olympics. And I can't wait to see that in the Olympics, because it's an amazing, amazing sport.
I've watched both, and from a layman, obviously in America with the NFL, I really enjoy the rugby. I enjoy contact sports, period. Football, hockey, MMA, boxing, and things like rugby. When I watch the sevens, first off, ain't nothing like when the boys come out back in black. I mean, come on now. The whole stadium, whether you want to root for the All Blacks or not, when they come out to that song, it makes you get goosebumps. But you're right. It was really, really quick. It was really fun. Everybody dresses like it's a Mardi Gras. It was bizarre, but it was all fun.
Oh yeah. I think the Hong Kong Sevens is probably the most famous. And it's probably the most well-known sevens tournament in the world. And I've been there on many occasions, I guess, having lived there. But it's a big party. It's a big party, and it's great to see that it's growing into the Wellington Sevens. 99% of people are dressed to have a party, and now it's great to see rugby sevens in Vegas, where there's that party atmosphere, and I think this world can always do with a few more parties.
Absolutely, and that's where I watched. It was in Vegas, and I telling you, I had an absolute blast at it. And the other thing I noticed, the difference between what the world calls football, what we call soccer, and rugby, man alive, soccer around the world, they have some issues sometimes between fans and need a lot of security and a lot of scrapping, and that unruly like that. Does that happen in rugby? I've never seen that.
Never. You can sit next to the another group of the opposition team, and halfway through the game, you're hugging, you're buying each other beers. It's just the way rugby is. There's true sportsmanship involved. Yeah, you get out there, you play hard, and at the end of the game, hey, you shake each other's hands. And I grew up, always giving a man hug to the opposition because you came off and you respected them. And that's the one thing, and that's one thing you talk about UFC. I like what I see when they respect each other. And at the end of the day, it is a sport, and we share something in common, which is the love of the sport. And so that's a big thing. And you're right, soccer. I think the game's an amazing game, but I'm not really into going out with the crowds and throwing missiles at each other. And I watch the game, and the players disrespect the referees, and there's coaches are coming on. It's like rugby is not like that.
Right, Lush, when you're talking UFC, I mean, you can't talk no more to UFC than right there at where you're hanging out with the UFC Gym.
Yeah, that's the one. UFC Gym been open. This is the third week now.
And how's it going?
Oh, it's going amazing. We always expected it to do well, but it's doing better than we expected.
When a guy that I've been involved with, I've sponsored him when I was at Throwdown Affliction and stuff, is Mark Hunt, who is one of my favorite guys. He's another guy that I don't want to get the story screwed up, but he's either from Zealand, lives in Australia, or Australia, lives in New Zealand. I'm not sure, but he's down there, and I'm sure he's one of the popular guys as far as UFC goes.
Oh yeah, he's actually from another little island next to Tonga, which is Samoa. That's why they call him the Super Samoan.
Yeah.
But he grew up in New Zealand, and I had heard of him in New Zealand. But then he had moved to Japan to do K1 and Pride.
Yep.
And now he's based in Sydney, and I think he's just awesome. I bumped into him in the last UFC fights here after his last fights in Japan. Not the ones just going. Had a quick word to him. He knew my brothers in New Zealand because of rugby circles. But he's doing amazing. I can't wait to see him fight in Vegas.
You need to you need to invite him by sometime, or do like a autograph appearance or something there at the gym.
Oh, definitely. We've got James Tahuna as well, based here in Sydney.
Yep.
And so these guys are around and about. They're just, I think, busy at the moment. But definitely get Mark Hunt, the Super Samoan, in here.
Well, maybe what we can do is when I get to come out for the opening like I did in Hawaii and other places, is we can, I get a hold of Mark and tell Mark he needs to come out for that opening.
There you go. See, that's what I like about you, Ski. You've got all these good ideas.
Yeah.
Great ideas. And we just need to make it happen.
So tell me, what coming out of rugby, obviously an athlete, what got you in the fitness industry? Because you've been involved with Hard Candy, and you've been involved with the Nev Group and things like that.
Yeah, it's that's when I got to Hong Kong. I was actually, believe it or not, I have a business degree in information systems, and I was working as a business analyst for